Welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, a Tempest Knives Pinion rendition, if you will. Before we get started, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats show that number's going down. However, anything above zero is simply unacceptable. And all that means, guys, is this: vets, you're welcome here. You have a place here. We back to blue over here. We sport live, all to the chagrin of many. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And when we do, because we take responsibility for it. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So, here's the deal. This is the Tempest Knives Pinion. It was designed by my guy Casey over at KNIVESFAST. Love Casey to death. Love his channel. He's an awesome dude, man. And he hit me up. He said, Scab, would you want to try out a prototype? Well, hell yeah, absolutely I do. So here's the deal. He sent me this one. Now, the knife is going to be made by Kubi. It is going to be made out of 14C 28N. The overall length is 7 3/4 inches. The blade length is 3.4 inches. The blade thickness is 0.12 inches or 3.2 millimeters. The handle width is 0.48, and the weight, now the weight's 3.7 ounces. Now, here's the deal, guys. Leo Tolstoy wrote War and Peace, okay? He has nothing on my guy Casey. The way I like to review knives is this. I simply like to get the knife in, know the name, know basic specs, and go from there. I don't really want to know much else until the review's over. Casey sent me a novel, son. I'm telling you, that would rival Tolstoy. So, there's no way I'll remember that, but I'm going to have some talking points throughout this video. What I will say to you is this. This knife has been reviewed by a lot of good channels, man. A lot of great channels have done a lot of great reviews. So, I was thinking about this thing, and I'm like, man, what can I do or what can I add? Because I don't normally do folders. And then I thought, you know what? We're just going to cut up a bunch of shit and talk about the knife. That's the best thing to do. Now, here's the thing. If you look at Casey and you look at me, you would never compare the two. One has his thing together. He runs his channel like a brand. He's together. He's organized. And the other one of us looks like a felon. You choose which is which. However, there are a lot of things that we have in common, especially when it comes to this knife. Now, from what I understand, Kubi with their prototypes uses just whatever steel, like an AUS 10 or a D2. This is an AUS 10. Now, again, the pinion will have 14C 28N, but what I did was I sent this to DJ Horn to get a super good edge on it because this one's been used. So I wanted to start fresh. And you say, Scab, if it's two different steels, how will that help us? Well, it's the same heat treat. The company's going to do the same heat treat. So we got a fresh edge. Now, this is a modified sheep's foot. You see that tip there? This is called an old man grip or a pinch grip, something like that, to do fine work. You can do some real fine work with it, just like I'm doing there. Many of you will know what kind of work that is. But I like that the point. I like that modified sheep's foot because you can put your pointer finger down there and get in and do some real work. Now, here we're doing the Donnie B all day drop test, the Donnie B all day throw it at the stump test. Why do we do that with a folder? Well, we want to check the tip. We want to check the edge, see if it rolls. We want to check the lock. This is a liner lock. It's a really well done liner lock. The other thing is this, guys. It's got a silver wire clip. Beautiful wire clip, deep carry. I tried to show some of that. But here's the thing about this knife. You could quantify it as a gentleman's carry and you would be right, okay? And it might be a gentleman's carry, but it's got some good old industrial ergonomics. What do I mean by that? I love this handle. Now I like the blade shape. Love the blade shape. Casey likes cars, he likes fast, he likes planes, and you can see that in his designs. It's apparent in his design. Okay, so it's got that sleek look. It really does, and I enjoy that. But that handle has an industrial ergonomic feel to it. The knife's not heavy. It's 3.7 ounces. So what do I mean by that? If you've watched any of my videos, most of my videos simply consist of me doing hard use testing on knives. I'm not trying to abuse the knife. That's not the point. What I'm trying to do is just show you my limited skill set, picking up a knife and going to work. I review every knife just like this, as if it was the only knife on earth. I don't compare them. I don't try to, okay? Now, I showed you the PM2 for a size comparison, but that's it. And what I mean by that is this. When I focus on a knife for a demonstration, I'm focusing on that knife. The best knife for the job at the time is the one you have in hand, right? Does the knife work? Let me just say this. This is a knife I would carry every day, 24/7. I'm not saying that to be nice. Everybody knows I'm not that nice of a person. But it is a knife I would carry. Now right here, that's that 2-inch high pressure air hose. It's a 1/4 inch thick. And you see how I'm pushing down there? That's putting a lot of stress on that blade. There was no damage done. And let me just say this, you can see a good comparison there. And the blade thickness at 3.2 millimeters, that's not a thin carry. What I mean by gentleman's carry is you have that nice wire clip, deep carry, right? The ergonomics are sleek. It's got a very cool aesthetic to it. But that 3.2 millimeters for a folder, that's not, guys, that's not thin. It's really not. Now, it's not super thick either. But to me, it is a great cutter. And right here, again, we're pushing down. We're putting a lot of pressure on that pivot point. And I'm sorry about the angle. I got so much stuff built up there. But you see it sliced right through there. It went right through there. No problem. And now we're doing kind of a fencing grip. And I promise we'll get a little better angle here in a minute. But the truth is this. This knife works. This knife you could carry to an office, to open package, to open letters, to do whatever you wanted to do, or you could use it in a backyard industrial type setting. Now here we're stripping a little wire. What I try to do in these demonstrations, and for those of y'all that's rode with me a while, you know, but what I do try to do in these demonstrations is just cut a bunch of stuff, a bunch of industrial stuff, but maybe in a way you can take, now this is some high pressure sandblast hose, but you can take that and kind of see, hey, if it'll handle this stuff, well, it'll handle kitchen stuff. It'll handle cardboard cutting. It'll handle all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you right now, that steel belted sandblast hose, the knife slid right through it. And that's where the heat treat comes in, because we had no chipping. We had no rolling. We had no damage to the edge. Okay? And again, now, personally, 14C28N, I'm a big fan of. But I'm not disappointed this was AUS 10. I'm also a fan of AUS 10. And DJ did a masterful job on the sharpening. And you'll see me do this quite a bit throughout the video. Just stop and do some quick feather sticking. Why? Because if you're out and you got a knife, I carry a knife at all times. We're blessed to do that in Florida. I carry a lighter or something. If I'm out and I get in a crappy situation, I got to make a fire. Now, we all live in this fantasy world where we're going to run off the side of a mountain in our underwear and all we got is a knife and a ferro rod. Well, that's not realistic, is it? But it is realistic to be out on a hike, to be out doing something, and a storm blow up or you get stuck somewhere. So the knife has to perform. Would I be comfortable with this knife? You're damn right I would. I probably wouldn't have said that before I received the knife. I'd have had a wait and see attitude. This is sidewall of a tire, by the way. We were able to stab 2 pieces. What does that, and I do that for a couple reasons. Again, to test the lock, I'm confident in that liner lock. Okay? If it's well built, it's going to work. And to test the tip and to test the edge again. Some of the stuff we do, you'd be like, Scab, I will never do that in my life. And that's okay. That's all right. We try to do some harder use testing. And again, don't try to beat the knife. Don't try to abuse the knife. That's why we're not doing any batoning. We're not doing any that's silly, right? I want to show you how a cutting tool works. Straight out of the box. Now you say, Scab, it's been used. Yep, but it went to DJ, who's an OEM and who put a brand new, so this was like getting a brand new knife, okay? So you can see if you purchase the Tempest Knives Pinion, and again, we're not the damn QVC channel, okay? But I'll tell you this is a knife I'd be proud to own. This is a knife that'll hold up. This is a knife that cut everything we needed to. And again, guys, if we look at this in terms of this is, let's just go with a gentleman's carry or a Sunday go to meeting carry, because that's the ergonomics of the thing. That's the aesthetics, right? That's right, Scab. It is. If you look at it like that, and in that light, and then look at the way that it's handled all these materials, whether it's ratchet strap, sandblast hose, air hose, water hose, wood, zip ties, sidewalls of tires, magazine paper, printer paper. Think about all the things that we've crammed into these 14 minutes. And that's another thing, guys. To do a folder review for this length of time, I'm telling you right now, I had a good time with this knife. That's 2-inch ratchet strap, by the by. No problem. Went straight through it. That is plastic water hose with that canvas cover. And the guy the other day said, you say that every time. Well, because as soon as I don't, some dumbass will say, hey, what was that? This is 3/4 inch red air hose that's high pressure. Everything that I use is industrial. Again, realizing not everybody works in these industrial environments. But if this knife that looks like a Sunday go-to-meeting knife, we could say it like this. It's a gentleman's carry with Redneck Ergonomics, and it works. This is sandblast hose again, okay? And here, yeah, I just hit myself right in the damn face. Thanks, Casey. Good job, son. That's actually my fault, but I'm going to blame Casey. But here's the deal. The knife got it done, okay? What does that tell us? That tells me that in my everyday life, because outside of work, I don't walk around cutting sandblast hose and all, but it does tell me if I need it, it's there. If I need it, it's going to work. Design is, in my opinion, was made for me. I love that blade shape. I love the top. And again, guys, I'm learning all this stuff. I'm a novice at best. I have no problems admitting that. But with this modified Wharncliffe, this modified sheep's foot, almost a modified clip tip, right? This is what I was telling you more about the fine work here. And I'm going to show you. See, the old man pinch grip there. And we're going to just do some, if you were skinning some game, you know, if your truck runs off the road, you're in your underwear with your knife and you got to skin a squirrel. I guess this would be what you would use it for. I think the majority of you would simply put it in your pocket and go to work, go to church, go to whatever, and you'll be comfortable. I love, love, love this knife. I really do. Now, I said this was 14 minutes and 17 seconds. Had I went with all the details Casey sent, it would have been 100 hours. You know what I'm saying? So, let me give y'all a couple things just to run down. This is going to be around $75 plus shipping. Blue G10 or black G10 is going to be about 75 bucks. If you want to go with black micarta, I believe it's 85. All of the clips are going to be that silver wire, and I love that look, man. I love that aesthetic. You've seen at the front where we were putting it in the different pockets. It's just kind of a low carry. The blade finish is a stone wash, and this is just a great knife. It's the Tempest Knives Pinion, and it's an awesome, awesome knife. Casey, great job. Guys, let me hit a couple of shout outs real quick. One is Casey over at KNIVESFAST. Big shout out, big love to you for letting me review this, man. Then Pistol Pete has a great channel. Go check him out. My guy, the Angry Dracolope, I'm actually going to pin in the comments one of his videos. I know that's a little unusual to do in this video, but he has a great series going, and I want to get some eyes on it. So there's the Angry Dracolope, there's Pistol Pete. Let's get those guys going. Of course, Donnie B all day, Steel Forged and Fire, Sword and Knife. All of those type guys that we normally do. Grugs, Legion Tacticool, Big Red, Karl Ruedger, Shayne Gables. A lot of guys for a lot of reasons. But remember this. I'm Scab. You're not.